Okay. All right. You should have in the announcements the Excel file that we will use for today's session. Okay. For Cropwat, the first step is to provide ETO, potential ET, in this format, based on the daily measurement ETOs that we have for Modena. So what we're going to do to our Excel is a couple of things. First, we have in the sheet number 1, we have the rows represent the day, and the 4 columns represent the different ETRs from the different methods. We need to add ETO here. How do we have ETO Pengman-Monti, right? Mm-hmm. So we just need to navigate in the pivot table field and activate it. That will add a new column F in the Excel. I can deactivate it and activate it. Okay. The other piece of information we're going to need is the day of the month. And the day of the month is also part of our table, which is this option, day. Now, we don't need, for ET, we do need to sum the hourly ET values, but for the day, we don't need the sum. We need the average value, like for every hour of the 1st of January is telling me is the day 1, I need to get the average value for that. So what I'm going to do there is going to navigate to this corner where I have the values. My mouse is down here. So I'm going to right click on it, go to value field settings, and I'm going to say average. My figure is going to get ugly, but this is because now the green line is drawing or the changes on the day from day 1 to day 31, and then goes from 1 to 28 and so on. That's the piece of information we need. Okay. So one more thing. Looking at Cropwat, or let's wait for you to do this step. How many of you were able to complete this step? Not yet? Okay.
How do you do the average thing again?
Okay. So you go here, follow my mouse, go to the bottom until you find the value here. In the previous case was saying sum of day. So click on that one. It will open this view. Click on value field settings, and instead of saying sum, change it to average. Okay. You're there? Okay, very good. Okay. All right. Now let's pay attention. Now we have to pay attention to units. We did our example in English units, right? Mm-hmm. Our Modena analysis of refugee. But Cropwat is an international software, so it uses, as you can say, the unit millimeters per day. So, and we need ETO. So what do I need to do to column F to get millimeters per day?
So like feet or inches per day.
Yeah.
Inches?
Yes.
I will times it 2.54 centimeter. Then I will times it by 10.
Okay.
So it will be
divided from.
Yep. So I will do, to simplify that process. Yeah. So pivot table allows you to introduce equations, but I'm not that proficient on that. So my way to get these values is just click on the column, copy, and I'm going to paste it here like values. Okay, and now next to it, I'm going to multiply that pasted value by 25.4. And I'm going to call this ETO as millimeters per day. And I'm going to run the cell. So what is the maximum ETO that I should expect from any weather station? The minimum is 0.
Again,
What could be the maximum value that could occur for reference or potential ET from using data from a weather station? 5 millimeters per day, 4. It's about 8. Okay. The more desertic the area, the values are going to be higher than 8. But typically, if your values reach the 8 millimeters per day, it means your calculations are okay. So could I quickly check that? So I'm going to click on column I, insert. And I get this figure. This is because the last row is the summary. So I need to delete this one and this one and go back.
It was the last
The last row.
the last row.
Yeah. The last value, the last.
because like the average of all of them.
Yes, is the seasonal value, the last one. So now you see that I have 8 millimeters per day, and I'm between 8 and 12. I have a couple of days where the station reached 12, but most of the data is 8 millimeters. So that's okay.
Okay.
All right. Is everybody there?
No, sorry, I missed this step.
Okay.
For the plot, did you just insert a plot on row
We can
or column G and I?
Yeah, I use this column where I transform I just click here, insert, line.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So with this, we're doing a quick QA/QC on our data. We're ready. We're not ready to go to Cropwat yet. But the data that we need is ready. So what we need to do now is to insert a new sheet, a blank page.
I have a question. How can I ensure that the data is ready for the Cropwat and try it like that, right?
Well, so how do I know that my transformation from inches to millimeters is okay? Well, the peak value, on the top of the curve, it's about 8 millimeters. These values here,
Yeah.
it's about 8. I have a couple of days where there were extreme conditions, but most of the data is about 8 millimeters. So that's where I know that my transformation of the units was okay. Okay. So now I introduce a blank page. Okay. And I'm going to copy. I need this column G. Going to copy. And I'm going to paste it as values. And then I'm going to copy my transform ETO in millimeters per day. And I'm going to paste it as values.
So the first column is the days of the year.
Yes, is the day of the day, is the average of day.
So it's from 1 to
31.
31. Those 30. Okay.
Okay. So it's not the day of the year, it's the day of the month. Okay. Now, why I'm doing this? Because now I'm going to select these two. Oh, look, there is a, I need to delete this value at the bottom. Okay. So I need to select these two data sets, copy, and I'm going to transpose them. Paste, transpose. Okay, why I need to transpose? Because I need to build.
How can I transpose?
Right click,
Click and then paste off.
yeah, right click. Here there is this option that says, okay,
Figure it out. First click and what's the option?
transpose.
This option تلاقي فيه سهمين كده عاملين على بعض كده. واحد في الاكس وواحد على الواي بالسالب.
Okay, so the tutorial on YouTube for Cropwat, how many of you watched that tutorial?
About that
Cropwat,
software?
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, the tutorial teaches you how to use historical data. What I'm teaching you is how to use your own data. Okay. The calculations are the same. The explanation is fantastic. The tutorial is really good. It's just that I'm going to show you how to use the data from your weather station to do your analysis. Okay. Once you're here, you're going to go to the last day of January, which is the 31st. Okay. Now, this is the 1st of January. I'm going to select all the cells to my right, cut, and I'm going to go here and paste it. Now, February has 28 days. So this is 1st of March. I'm going to select these two rows, select all the values to the right, cut, and paste.
Again, the last one.
Okay. Okay. I did a transpose.
Yeah.
How many days has the month of January? 31. So I need to go move to the right until I find 31. So this value, to where is my cell right now, is 1st of February. So I'm going to select these two values. Then I'm going to select all the cells to the right. I'm going to cut. Then I'm going to move to the front. And below the ET of 1st of January, I'm going to paste.
Okay.
And I'm going to do that for every month. It's the same exercise.
The muscle butterfly. I'm going to show them.
This is very easy if you know commands with the keyboard. Okay. When you're done, you will have a table like mine. You can verify that in column F, I have always 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So you have to have 12 lines. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, if you got that, if you are up to here, now you can delete the rows that says from the dates of the month. Use right click, delete, delete.
Select, then delete it.
Delete,
Once.
yes, the day, the day of the month.
What? I found a gap between the cells with really transpose.
A gap.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. At the end, you should have a table like this. Let me know when you're ready. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, there is no tool that can help you to go from vertical to the format at Cropwat. So this is the simplest procedure I figured out to do it, but it is possible. So it's just you just need some.
It's like very big program. We can't find all the formulas and stuff.
Yeah.
ايوه مش هسيب له حاجه. خلي الداتا هم بس كده. انا مش شغل يعني. عشان انا
Okay. If you have your data ready, select the table, only the ET date, the ET values, not the dates. Press Ctrl C, and now you can go to Cropwat. And on the 1st of January, you are going to do right click and say paste table.
How do you get the table to look like that?
Okay. Go to click on climate, new daily measure ET. Okay. Then on January 1st, you're going to do right click, paste table. It will ask you accept paste data. Yes.
take a lot of time to like delete the would you go to the file that is home?
Okay. Now give it a name. Give it a name, Modena, and tell the year 2022. Save it. So we had for our RefET, we had a folder. Create a folder for your Cropwat and save the file there in your Cropwat file. Oh. So done.
Commit to like non-total.
If you want to see how this data is looking like, click on chart.
Like the same that we created in Excel.
Yes, it's exactly the same.
It's like
what would the tool that I use to put that in the Cropwat?
Say that again.
The tool that I should put the data in.
Okay, you go to Climate ETO, ensure that you're selecting daily measure ETO, you get this table.
Okay.
You go to the Excel, select only the ETO values, not the dates. Ctrl C, go to the 1st of January, right click, paste table. It will ask you for confirmation. You say yes, and your table will look like this.
Yeah.
If we click the options tab, it's going to indicate what sort of information we have, and we're entering ETO payment calculated for climatic data. there is an option that it can calculate pigment from temperature data, but in this case, we have a full weather station, so we don't need to specify that. Let me see. In the units, we see that ETO can be millimeters per day or millimeters per period. Period will refer to these other options. Monthly ETO. So for planning or
If I
for
convert it to monthly now, it will convert by himself, like,
no.
or
Yeah.
I should provide the
Yeah.
data.
If let's say in some cases, and this is rare nowadays, but when I was your age, there wasn't weather stations. There were like books that had some information about the average temperature for the month for this region. So it was some historical data from a book, from a report. So Cropwat allows you to use that data too. But in this age, we have access to weather stations, so we will use them. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, how to make the plot that
Here, click on chart.
okay. The same.
All right. Okay. Okay, okay, don't forget to save. Click on save. Okay, and on save it on a folder where you will be saving Cropwat inputs. Create a new folder for Cropwat and save this data so it doesn't get lost. Okay, so also give it a name. This is Modena, and give it the year. Okay, next step.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when I'm copying or when I'm pasting in all my data.
Yeah.
It's only going, like all the data is going into the January 1st cell. Is there a way, do you have to select every cell or?
No. It's this table was empty before, so I just go here.
Yeah.
Okay, it becomes like blue, like this.
Yeah.
Right click, paste table.
Oh, okay. Sweet, thank you.
Okay, with this data here, now we can visualize the behavior of our ETO data. Now we have to deal with rain.
So I will name this file Medina
2022, yes. Okay.
There is an error. When I make saving, it says it's an error. Okay, close it. Okay, save. Where are you going to save it? Thank you.
Yeah.
Doesn't work with me. It's like, okay.
Writing data
Yeah.
is set to kind of have saying that you cannot access that location.
All right, how we do rainfall or precipitation? It's the same methodology. If you click on rain, you will get this table, but we need to change it to daily rain. Okay, now we're going to do rain.
Okay.
Okay, so when you open
Praise.
Okay, you need to change it here to daily rain in new. Okay, so let's go back to our Excel. Let's go to the daily table. Okay, let's see. Do we have rainfall in our table?
No.
Do we have precipitation? We do. Here it is.
Okay.
So we will, okay. If we activate this, it's going to delete the H column. So the good thing is we're done in the other spreadsheet. So we activate it. Says it's going to be written data. Do you want to replace it? Sure. Okay. So now we lost H. But now we need to do the same exercise as we did. We need to create a new sheet. And in that sheet, we're going to copy these two columns. Oh, one thing that we need to do, this rainfall is in which units? We need to transform it 2 millimeters. Receipt millimeters. Oh, first I need to copy it. Paste it here as a value. Then I can do that. We need to be careful about, because it seems that the units are already in millimeters. Because the values that I'm getting on when multiplied are massive, 100 millimeters per day. It's too much. So when that happened is probably because the data from the weather station came in millimeters already. So we don't need to do the transformation. We just keep the original values. So the precipitation data, despite we asked the weather station for English units, it came in millimeters. How do I realize that? If I multiply this column by 25.4, okay?
There is a big results.
If I plot it, I need to delete the last one. Yeah, 800 millimeters in one day is not possible. So that is telling me that the units weren't right.
But when we input it in the FAT, we input it in inches.
Now RefIT wants, oh, in RefIT we asked, but it gave us the climate data in English unit, but the precipitation in metric units. Okay, so we don't need to do the transformation of units. So I'm going to copy the day of the month and the sum of precipitation to my new sheet. As values. I'm going to check on the last row. I'm going to delete those. And then I'm going to copy and transpose. And same exercise as for ET. Okay, you should get a table similar to your ETO. Okay, while you finish this, I'll step.
Rain data and daily rate.
Say
Rain
that
data.
again?
We can put the rain data in Cropwat. Rain data and day, I will choose daily rate.
Yes.
How many buckets?
بتاع شوية تي ترانسبوز معايا موت خالص.
انت استخدمه عايز تزخم واخد الخلايا زودت مع خليتين جنب.
All right, is everybody ready? Okay. Same procedure. Select your table, copy, right click, paste table. Okay. So same trick. Go to the 1st of January, right click, paste table. It will fill up nicely your table. Give it a name to your station, the year, and save it. Okay, let me know when you are done here. Excellent. You can plot it as usual. Can see your rainfall data. As you can see, the numbers make sense. 5 millimeters of rainfall. There could be one very big storm, but we're not getting 100 millimeters per day. That might happen in a hurricane scenario, but Utah is not known for that. So one interesting thing is that at the bottom, it allows you to plot other variable too, like ETO. We don't have weather temperature, but we do have ETO. So you can have that as part of it.
Also, we put the rain data plotted this
Say that again.
after we plotted the rain data.
Okay.
Then
You
we
plot the
make
rain
one-
data. You can select here ETO, and you get your data from ETO plotted here too. All right. Nice. Okay, very good. You're becoming experts on Cropwat now. Okay. Why? This method is much faster than doing water balance in Excel. And it allows us to test scenarios. So that's the advantage. I mean, the Excel method, it works. It's fine. You enter your inputs as you know. But this one
like
allows us to do
to
more.
change one variable and
Yes.
see the result. Positive.
Okay. So now we can move to the crop. Here comes your knowledge of crop coefficients. Who remember what's crop coefficient?
K.
Yeah, it's the KC, but what do they represent?
It's the amount of water that the crop yield?
So is the crop coefficient is the ratio between the measured actual water use divided by the potential ET. And those values were standardized in the FAO 56 book. Okay, so here, which crop do you want to try?
Alpha.
Okay, alfalfa it is. Okay, that's very creative thinking. All right, this is the good thing. This software was developed after FAO 56. If you say open and then click on FAO, there is alfalfa. There are all the crops mentioned in the book. So we can try sugar cane, we can try rice, potato, mango. So we have the entire archive. So let's go with alfalfa 0.
What's the difference between the alfalfa 0 and alfalfa?
Let's see. Keep an eye on the crop coefficients. 0.4, 0.95 at the end, 0.9. Okay, then look at the dates. 150 days, 30, 150 days, 30. So alfalfa is an annual crop. Okay, so what could be changing there in alfalfa 1 and 2 is the duration of the stages and also the critical depletion. The critical depletion is how much water can you extract from the soil before alfalfa start getting stressed due to water. So let's change it for alfalfa. To change crops, you use open again the folder, change it for alfalfa. Let's see, what did it change?
Number of days,
The
amount.
initials.
So this might,
Yeah, the initial days.
I think this is for year. This might be for an alfalfa in snowy regions. St. George doesn't have snow, so it's better for us to use, for Modena, they don't get the snow, basically. So we need to change it to alfalfa 0. Okay, so now we have our crop coefficients, we have the dates. Are we ready to keep going or do we need to ask ourselves more questions?
Was the soil?
So I will
Yes.
choose alfalfa 0 and save it.
You can save it. If you do modifications in these values, you save it. Otherwise, there is no need to. Or if you want to, you can click.
When I leave open alfalfa 0, only you should save it. When I click on alfalfa 0, tell me that you should save it.
Okay, but let's stop on the crop for a second. I want to go back to rain before we move to crop, soil, and then the water balance.
So make that saying that we talk the last class, if I will make the rain effective or not?
Yes. So in red text in the screen, it mentions effective rainfall and mention the USDA method. What is effective rainfall?
It's like the amount of water from all the rain that the plant or the crop will take and as an ET.
Yes. So when there is very little amount of rain, like 1 to 2 millimeters, that water doesn't penetrate the soil. It immediately gets evaporated, so the plant doesn't use it. And when there is excessive rainfall, part of it will go away by runoff. So the plant also will use only a portion of it. So the effective rainfall, there has been people who have been developing methodologies. So if you click here in options, you will see the 5 different methodologies that you can consider in your analysis. From saying, look, the amount, I don't want to consider any rainfall in my ET analysis. I want to consider the USDA approach. I want to use an empirical formula, an FAO approach to calculate, or a fixed percentage. If whatever the amount it rains, only 80% or 70% will be used by the plant. So the question is, which one should we use?
Depending on the area.
Depending on the area, that's good. Okay, this is not an easy answer. And actually, the science behind this is 50 years old. It's very amazing that there is no recent research on these topics, like measurements of effective rainfall calculated on lysimeters. This is, so all of this is quite empirical. It might not fit the Modena site or any site, but the rule of thumb, if you have to choose one, you choose the USDA for arid areas and the FAO for rainy areas. Okay, I mean, but that doesn't disqualify the other ones. Okay, there might be locations where historically a fixed percentage has been used, or rainfall is not considered in the calculations. Especially if you are planning a new irrigation system, and if rain is scarce, you might choose it. You might choose that there might be a year in the future where no rainfall happens. So when you design a new irrigation project, you assume the worst conditions, like the crop that is going to use the most of the water, that no rainfall is happening. So when you design the pipes, the canals, you have enough capacity to move that water through. But in this case, we can give it a try and try the different methods and how it affects our calculations. Let's choose for now USDA Soil Conservation Service. Okay. All right. So we have solved ETO, we have rain, and we have chosen alfalfa 0 because the area we're going to evaluate is an area where snow does not occur, therefore alfalfa is growing the entire year. This is also true for California. California doesn't get the snow, so in Utah, let's say from central Utah to the north, they typically get 3 cuts per year. And there is 1 cut missing due to the snow period. But in California, they get 4 cuts per year, 4 cuts of alfalfa. So, okay, we have our alfalfa. What do you think about the root depth? Is it okay?
Is that like in which units? Feet or inches?
This is meters.
It's very good, I think.
It's 4 feet.
It's a lot.
It's okay. In some cases, alfalfa can go up to 2 meters.
Yeah.
So if you need to modify to 2 meters, you modify it here. Okay. Yield response is 1. What does it mean, that yield response? It means that if water is not applied in that crop stage, your yield is going to decrease in the same amount or on a similar percentage. So it's very sensitive to water. That's what it says. If the value is lower, I think if the value is lower than 1, your yield will decrease, but not in a large magnitude. If the value is higher than 1, your crop is very sensitive to absence of water on that growing stage. Also, we have crop height, which is just above 2 feet, which is okay, which is, yeah, I don't get lost in alfalfa fields. Okay, so, all right, we have a crop. Now let's go to soils. Okay. How do we know what soil type we have in Modena? Yes, there is a website. That's one of the good things about the US, where this type of information is digitalized, but it's important to know the type of soil. So let's look at the soil. Let's go to a website which is called, or I look at for USDA soil survey. If you go to this website, you get this page and you get this button. Click on the button and you will get, this website hasn't changed since I was a student. So it's still the same format, but it's a very difficult to manage archive. So they make it work, they don't want to touch it. But it's very complex because they have not only data about soil water properties or characteristics, they also have about geology, depth, extension of that soil type. So now I'm going to show you roughly how do I get the weather station location. So I know it's by about the corner between Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. So I click on the plus glass magnifier. I draw a window. So the weather station is close to Uvalde on the border between Utah and Nevada. So I'm going to do a second zoom on that area. Okay, there is the word Modena. Because I visit this site, I know that the weather station is here. And is located here, where my mouse is. Okay.
No.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. Okay. So I have zoomed into the area where the weather station is located. Okay. So the other way to do it is that if you have the latitude and longitude of the weather station, you go to Google Earth, put the coordinates there. It's going to show you where it is, and then when you come here, you zoom in until you find a similar area. So the next step is to draw an area of interest.
Can find
The city, yeah. Let me show you the other way. Go to, you have Google Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, open Google Earth. Do we have the latitude and longitude of our weather station?
yeah, from that unified sensor.
Yes. We have it. Where is this? Here in the worksheet, call it out. Here is the latitude and the longitude. So let me copy the latitude. Going to paste it. comma. And I'm going to copy the longitude. I'm going to put the minus sign, search. Okay, so now you zoom out here. So here are the corner of Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. So you use now this map as a reference to locate the station in the area. Easy peasy? Yes, easy peasy. Okay, once you have located in you click on the area of interest button and draw a square around the tower location. Once you get that, you go to soil map. Here, the tab soil map. What we need to know is the numbers are telling us what the soil type where our station is. And I think, and I didn't want to do this, but I need to take my glasses out. This is too small. Okay. Yeah. Don't get old. Okay. 357. 357. And I have 357 on my list. Okay. Here we will find information about the soil type. Okay. Were you able to follow me up to here? Yes? Yes? No? Do you want me to repeat this part?
I found you how to.
No. Yeah. Oh, you need to get down the station first.
This is a.
Yeah, zoom out. Yeah. The station is here. Here over this green thing. Okay. Yeah. That's yeah.
It's next to it.
No, it's this one. Yeah, so now click on the red block. Yeah, that one. And draw a rectangle around. Big rectangle. Because your sensor is here, so you can draw a rectangle.
Where is this? 6.
Hit it. Don't remember. It says delete there. Okay. The other was. keep zooming out. You have to draw a rectangle. Zoom out.
Mhm.
Zoom out. Keep zooming out.
So this is
Okay. Now draw a big rectangle. Big. Doesn't matter. Bigger.
like that.
More to the south.
So you see this right here,
More.
this mountain,
Okay.
it's the same mountain.
Click.
Zoom in.
Okay.
Like that.
Now in the website. On the website. Not there. Go up. Down. Click soil.
And then some down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the information should be 357.
You just want to make sure you have the.
372. 357.
Yeah.
Okay, is this one?
Yeah, you got.
Is this one?
And
If you click this one, you will this
I have
page.
357.
more.
No, it's not like.
Yeah. Stations over there.
Yes, I will access them.
Okay. Draw a wider rectangle. Go to the previous tab and draw wider. No, don't try to do it tiny. That's one of the things about this page. You have to draw a big rectangle. Okay, so what is the soil type in this location? Okay. Remember, you have to evaluate from 0 to 4 feet down. So there are layers here. So what is our soil type?
Looks like it's mainly sandy loam all the way down.
Yeah, that's
The middle section has some clay and the bottom section has some gravel.
okay. So here, this is one of the limitations of Cropwat. It only allows one soil type. You cannot put layers. So we need to decide what is the soil type for our area.
I think we will take like sandy clay loam because the roses will be much in this area.
Okay. Sandy clay loam. All right.
Because our root depth is like
4 feet.
4 feet.
But for this is 4 feet.
4 feet is like this one.
4 feet is
412 like 40.
48.
So 30 would
So
be.
here, pretty much, yeah. And
DK,
this indicate a lot of rocks, stone in the layers, so plant might not go there. So if we consider this one is sandy loam or sandy lake loam. So if we classify this soil, is it a light texture, medium texture, or heavy texture?
so we can like make it. If we choose sandy clay loam, we will like choose a bigger one because we are near to the rocks. The bigger
This is the
Are you referring to sand that's heavy or are you referring to?
no light, like clay is heavy,
Okay,
sand is light.
Okay.
So light soil, medium soil, or heavy soil.
like the clay is light.
sandy clay loam would be medium. There's gonna be more clay than sand, so it'd be slightly heavier.
Slightly heavier. So which one I'll choose? Medium?
I'd probably go
Okay.
medium.
There is another way to do this calculation, but for now, because we are with the hour, I'll stop here. So you click open, you click soil, open, and we have two folders. We have red loamy, sandy loam. In this FAO folder, we have heavy, light, and medium. We select medium. The other way to do it is that we find this information for us. The total available water, the maximum rain infiltration rate, maximum rooting depth, initial soil moisture, that's an assumption. And the last value is just a percentage. Or an assumption. So we can start with field capacity, up to field capacity, or we can start with a dry soil. Okay, all right. So we will keep working on this, but let me show you what's coming. If you click on CWR, you will get this chart, but this table. But if you click chart, this is the irrigation requirements.
It's like the days, months, okay.
Yes, but if you click schedule now, okay, and you print chart, there you go, your water balance. So we will discuss about this later, but we are at a point where we enter climate data, rain, we selected the crop coefficients, we discussed about the information that goes related to crop coefficient, soil, we have very few options here, but there is other pieces of information that we can use. If we know the texture, like sandy, what was our option here?
Sandy loam.
Sandy loam, we can get more tailored information, more adjusted information about the soil water properties, okay? We will stop here and I'll see you after the spring break.
Long time.
Yep, so, all right, save your, one last thing. Save your Cropwat. Okay, click on save session. Go to your folder and call it Modena. So nothing get lost.
When I click on CWR, so
You get an error. Okay. Let me see. Let me stop the recording.
should we save the soil?
No,